Okay, in this task we want to show how to make a macro which could rearrange uh, any area or range. Okay, so let's open this worksheet. Okay, and before making your code we need to do certain things, so please listen carefully. Let's select A1 through G13 and we want to give one name for this whole range. Okay, so just right click after you select it, and one of them is define names, so click it, then it opens this small window. So we need to type in any name for that range, so it suggests area. Okay, and in the scope is workbook, so the meaning is, do we want to give this name for this chosen range for any worksheet or every worksheet, or there is specific ones, right? So right now it should be only from here, right? Okay, so that is the only one having the name area, right? The range. Okay, so click OK after that. So it has name. So when you select it, this one changed, right? It shows the name, right? Okay, one more thing. In cell I1, we wanna, so at this moment this one shows just I1, right? That's the name it, okay, name of it. But we just do this one and put in area out start. Okay, so right now, and of course this one also should be RM1. Okay, same thing. Click OK. So now its name is changed. So we want to rearrange this data starting from here. That's the name of it, right? The area out start here. Then now we want to start making our macro. So procedures, and we need to put module. We need a new one, and we need the procedures, right? So the sub, right? Okay, so let's make it public. We need the name of it, so rearrange it. Okay, click OK and put all the code. From the lecture note. So this is what we have. Be careful, no empty lines like that. So before run this program, let's check something in here. First of all, the area is the name of certain range we choose inside Excel workbook. So Visual Basic is not going to understand the meaning of it. So the meaning is we cannot use this one directly, right, in Visual Basic. So that's the meaning of this command set. So in Visual Basic, when you need to give a name for that certain range, okay, so instead of area, you can just put from A1 to G13 or something like that, right? Then you can give the name directly. Okay, so this is just simply giving a name of certain range, and we give another name for that cell I1, right? That's the name of the here, right? So the first two lines are just giving specific name for chosen ranges for the Visual Basic programming. So after that, you can realize that AR is used here, right? So what is the meaning of it? We need two variables at this moment. It's number of columns and number of rows. And number of columns, why do we need this? Because we want to rearrange these given or chosen ranges, right? So we need to check how many columns we have and how many rows we have in there, right? So that much we can rotate it, right? So this is how we calculate that information. So just one word, one line is enough. So number of columns, actually we are expecting a number, and when you run it, it's gonna check this whole thing and will giving us the number internally, right? Same thing, how many rows we have, it's just this one is enough. So this AR is not always should be like this. It's only the name of that range, right? So if you give different name, this one should be changed. but this dot column dot count is really counting the number of columns. So this variable name could be also different, right? But it's kind of reasonable by that, right? So that's the meaning of those first two. Now this is another variable, okay, and it's going to use here, right? Okay, route, and it's going to change over like this because of this line. But why does it start from 2? Because we need to start rearranging from 2, right? Line 2. So just only for that reason, right? So you're going to see that later. And at the same time, we also need to count the blank cell, right? If the cell doesn't have anything, we don't want to rearrange it, right? We maybe skip that one or put that cell in some place or something like that. So anyway, we need to count that. So this variable is counting that the number of blank cells in there. Now we give each of a name for each of these kind of cells, okay? So it's just name, subject, and mark. So you're going to see later a little bit for that, and it's just the routine, right? Stuff. So by running through these rows and columns up to that much, right? You can see that. And in this if statement, it says not is empty. So if the chosen cell is not empty, then we want to do something, which means it's not blank, right? But if it's empty, if it's a blank, then go here directly and just adding 1 to this variable, the count blank cells, right? So that's the kind of whole programming here. So let me just run and see what happens. Okay. So in the given format, looks like we have 2x2 table style data, but in here we are going to rearrange it, okay? This whole thing. So the way they rearrange is, can you see that? In here we give name, subject, mark. Sorry. Okay, that appears here. And the way it's doing is we already assign a route for that cell, right? The I1. Okay, see here, it's already have the name in there. And to give these inputs for these cells, we choose that route, right? And cells 1, 1. So starting from that place, we give this name in there, right? Then starting from that cell, the cell 1, 2 means just increase the column number, right? So 1, 2 is the neighbor one, J1, right? And we put subject, and 1, 3 is mark, right? So in Visual Basic program, this is how we handle certain cells in the middle of somewhere, right? Not from A1, right? So if you know the starting cell, then you can just give this one to increase the number of rows or cells and place certain inputs in there, okay? And the remaining one is, in this case we saw Smith has subject 1, subject 2 with values, but in here we just put them downway, right? So Smith and subject 1, 2, 3, 4 and the values of it. So it's just up to you how you want to rearrange it, but it just shows how it's going to work like that and how you're going to call each of them. So try to read this code by yourself, then you can realize, okay, this one starting from I1, right? And that is sorry, that is slightly different because that's starting from 2, right? So 2, 1, right? That's why we start from 2 here, right? And 1 usually it's the first column, so it should be column A, but it starts from a route, right? Which is I1, right? So starting from that, and 2, 1 is the one, right? So you have to go down and start this Smith, right? Then, so we can understand. And the value in that cell must be from AR, right? So AR is the whole area, and cell number is from r, 1. Now in this case our r is just for running starting from 2. So if we really r starts from 2, then this one is starting from the whole range area, and cell number is 2, 1. So the whole area range is this one, and starting from that, but 2, 1 should be this one, right? But it's empty, so it's not going to count. It doesn't do anything because if it's empty, then you have to go here and just count. Just increase the count blank cell number and go back and increase another one. So when you do run through all these C values for the columns when r equals 2, it doesn't do anything in here. It just always go here because it's going to be everything is empty in there. And after run through all this column for r equals 2, when r is changed to 3, then now it start do something in this code. Okay, so we need a lot of practice to handling this program, but this is really nice to start with. Okay, and this program is really helpful for that.